Long ago in ancient Egypt, the good and fair god Osiris ruled over the black land. He taught the people to plant grain and grapes and to give up their evil ways. But his brother Seth, god of chaos and wilderness, was jealous and sought to destroy Osiris's fine civilization. Seth made a plan with 72 evil followers. They invited Osiris to a feast in his honor. At the height of the celebration, Seth brought out a beautiful chest he had created, saying whoever could fit into it could have it. Everyone pretended to compete for the prize, but one was too long, too short, one was too plump. But at last Osiris lay down in the coffin, and it fit him perfectly. Quickly, Seth and the henchmen slammed the lid on the coffin, hammered it shut, pouring lead into the cracks, sealing it, and suffocating Osiris. Then they cast the chest containing his dead body adrift on the Nile, and it floated down the river, out to sea, and up to Byblos, where it became entangled in the roots of a tamarisk tree. Soon Osiris's wife, Isis, speaker of spells, began to miss her husband and to suspect something terrible had happened to him. She put her baby son Horus in the care of Wadjet, the powerful cobra goddess, and set off wandering the world in search of her beloved. Near Byblos, some children told Isis of a tamarisk tree, which had grown incredibly large and beautiful. Isis knew only the energy of a god could have such an effect, so she transformed herself into a mortal woman and went to investigate. Isis approached some royal handmaidens at the river, who told her the tree had been carved into a pillar in the great hall of the palace. When the maidens returned home, the heavenly pure fragrance of the goddess lingered around them. The queen asked how they had come to smell so sweet, because everyone knows a pure scent is a sign of goodness. They told her of the wonderful perfume given off by a sad woman they had met at the river, and the queen asked her maids to bring Isis to the palace. When she arrived, Isis instantly realized her husband's body was somehow imprisoned inside the pillar. But before revealing her true self and releasing him, she promised to help the queen cure her firstborn son of a deathly disease. Each night, Isis, the magical healer, shut herself in the hall and placed the little prince on a blazing fire. Then she turned herself into a sparrow and flew around the pillar, chanting a spell and mourning for her lost love. When the queen spied on Isis one night, she was terrified by the ritual and burst in to snatch her child from death. Isis became a goddess again and revealed that the queen had done just the opposite. The flames would have burned away his mortality and let him live forever. The royal couple were sorry and followed her command to split open the pillar. Inside was the coffin of Osiris. Knowing that the parts of the soul can never truly rest unless the body is given proper rites, Isis placed Osiris's corpse in a small boat and hid it in the reeds. Then she rushed home to check on her son, just in time too, because a scorpion had bitten little Horus and she had to nurse him back to health. In the meantime, Seth had gone hunting in the marshes. When he discovered Osiris's body, he flew into a rage and tore it into many pieces, scattering them all over Egypt. When she returned, Isis guessed what Seth had done. Ever faithful, she built a small papyrus boat and sailed off down the Nile, collecting every scrap of her husband's corpse. After collecting all his remains, Isis used her magic to restore his form. Finally whole, Osiris was able to move to the land of the West, the land of the dead, where he rules with wisdom and kindness. The divine couple's son, Horus, grew and rose like a hawk to take over his father's kingdom. And one day, Osiris himself will come back to reign on earth. But that's another story.